Reverse dieting? Yes, it's really a thing, but what is it and why would you even want to reverse a diet? Let's talk about that. How's it going, guys? My name's Richie Kirwan, and today we're going to talk all about reverse dieting. What it is, why people do it, is it any good, and another use for it that could really help your muscle gain goals. As always, I want to point out that I'm not telling you how to structure your nutrition. That's entirely your choice. What I am going to do is help you understand the nutritional and physiological science behind reverse dieting and whether it's actually useful. Let's get started. So, the problem with explaining reverse dieting is that there doesn't seem to be one single accepted definition for what it actually is. Everyone seems to have their own take on it, so don't jump on me in the comments section if this isn't your interpretation. For some people, reverse dieting is the gradual process of raising someone's calories without greatly increasing body weight or body fat. An example might help explain this better. Let's think of someone who has been preparing for a bodybuilding show. More than likely, they've been dieting hard for maybe up to 6 months to get their body fat as low as possible. Their body has been through a lot. They've been on reduced calories for months. Their body is fighting back by reducing its metabolic rate, trying to hold on to as much body fat and calories as possible. Body weight is down and body fat is very low. Smaller bodies burn fewer calories, but beyond that, something else has happened. There have been massive reductions in hormones like leptin, testosterone, and thyroid hormone, and that all leads to a drop in metabolic rate, beyond what you'd expect from the drop in body weight. That drop in metabolism is called metabolic adaptation, and it's a concept we'll come back to later. On top of that, their appetite hormones are completely out of control, and they're hungry all the time, as well as being irritable, tired all the time, and with a non-existent sex drive. Now, when the show is over, many bodybuilders, unfortunately, often end up binging on all the food they can get their hands on. And because their metabolic rate is so low, they end up gaining a lot of body fat. So one potential use of reverse dieting is slowly raising someone's calories on a weekly basis instead of immediately jumping back to what they used to be consuming before they started dieting. For example, adding 100 calories per day for the first week, then another 100 the next week, and so on. This way, you gradually increase calories and potentially avoid the fat gain that many bodybuilders experience after a show. In theory, this works because of metabolic adaptation too. Remember when I said your metabolism goes down when you reduce calories for a while? Well, we know that the opposite is true too. If you increase someone's calories for a while, their metabolic rate can increase to compensate. So in theory, you might be able to take someone from very low calories with a low metabolic rate to higher calories with a higher metabolic rate, while more or less maintaining body weight, in theory. The important point about this is that there is a huge amount of variation between people, and some people just have very adaptive metabolisms. So that means if you have two different people and you increase both of their calories by, say, 500 for a month, one might have a very adaptive metabolism and gain no weight at all, and the other might not have a very adaptive metabolism and could gain some weight in the same time. Everyone's different. The problem with the super slow approach I just mentioned is that you're basically extending the diet period for even longer, which means it's really likely that the person on the reverse diet is going to feel pretty crappy due to all the changes in hormones and mood I mentioned earlier for an unnecessarily long amount of time. Remember, the low level of body fat that someone reaches for a physique show is not healthy long term. So staying that lean for an extended period of time is not a good idea. However, for some people who are terrified of gaining weight after a physique show, some coaches recommend this approach because it's far more controlled and they are less likely to feel anxious or overwhelmed by the weight they do gain. Personally, my thinking is that if someone is so neurotic about regaining weight, they probably have much bigger issues to deal with than fat gain. The problem is that describes a lot of people in the fitness industry. Another take on reverse dieting is a faster approach. Instead, you immediately bump someone's calories right back up to their new estimated maintenance. Now, I said new estimated maintenance and not their previous maintenance for a reason. Like I said earlier, when someone loses weight from dieting, their body is smaller, and smaller bodies burn fewer calories. So if you started your diet maintaining at, let's say, 3,000 calories and dropped all the way down to 2,000 calories for a few months to lose weight, your new maintenance is going to be lower than 3,000. because there is less of you. How much? It's really hard to say, but it depends on how much weight you lost and how adaptive your metabolism is. Just for this example, let's take a guess at 2,500 calories. So you could increase your calories immediately to 2,500 and then gradually increase calories on a weekly basis until you start gaining weight and hopefully feeling better again. Yet another alternative is not reverse dieting at all, but is termed a recovery diet, because contest prep diets can be that brutal that you need to recover after them. In a recovery diet, the goal is to increase calories to a small surplus immediately. So in the example we used above, that might be jumping right back to somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 calories. And the idea is to intentionally regain some body weight and body fat so that your body knows it's not starving anymore. And your hormonal systems, hunger levels, libido, and your metabolism can start to effectively return to normal. That puts you in a much healthier position and is much more conducive to starting to build muscle again in a controlled massing phase. None of this is easy to work out yourself, and this is why it's so important to work with a good, responsible coach that cares about their clients' physical and mental health. One last use that some people don't consider when it comes to the techniques used in reverse dieting is in lean gaining. This is where I think the process of gradually adding calories while monitoring weight is a really good idea. So basically, if you're starting a bulk, for example, you increase your calories initially by, say, 300 calories above maintenance, and then you monitor your body weight. If it starts going up, great. Then, when your weight gain stalls, which it inevitably will, you increase calories again, and you continue this for a few months. Metabolic adaptation will keep happening, and you might be able to increase your calories quite significantly, depending on your own metabolism. Not only does this allow you to increase your calories, but it also helps you to reduce the rate of fat gain that often happens with less controlled, dreamer bulks. So in summary, when it comes to recovering after a very long diet to very low body fat levels, I'm not a big fan of reverse dieting, and I think recovery diets may be a much better option. Either way, if you're considering dieting down to such low body fat levels, which I don't think anyone outside of competitors should do, find yourself a good coach who will look after you. Don't do it on your own. Your mental and physical health are worth far more. So, did this answer your reverse diet questions? As always, if you have any more, let me know in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to the Myprotein YouTube channel for more great evidence-based nutrition information.